All right. Perfect. I've sat up here and said this before. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning. And as gut-wrenching as that was, if the city of Tucson wants to be mad at somebody in the Wildcat Nation, go ahead and be mad at me. I begged you and Coach B, we really convinced you to dig in and buy in on this football team. And when you lose a game like that, it's gut-wrenching and everybody wants to burn the village down and get rid of everything. And we're in the process of building something that I think can be special. There's going to be those growing pains. We didn't finish an opportunity that we sat in control of it. And much like the Kansas State game, with 5 minutes to go, we put the defense out there. And I sat here in this chair on March 22nd, 2025, and said, we have enough talent to be a top 10, top 15 defense in this country. And guess what? We're a top 15 defense in this country through 6 games. And so our idea is, doesn't matter what happens the rest of the game, if we've got an opportunity and a touchdown lead or a 10-point lead with 7 minutes to go or 4 minutes to go, put us on the field and we'll close it. We didn't. We had opportunities and we didn't. Referees aren't excuses. We had an opportunity. It took them 8 plays to score from the 8-yard line. And we had opportunities to get off the field. We didn't. Game started out and being detailed. We're good on defense. We're not great yet. We have the opportunity to be great and be elite. But to be elite, you can't make mistakes. And on the 3rd play of the game, we have a linebacker that should come off the edge and hit Bear right in the mouth. They don't block our linebacker coming through the B gap right there, so Tay's got a chance to hit a sack fumble. Well, instead of coming off the edge, we pinch inside thinking it was a different stunt, so he has to scramble. We end up getting him down, and we get off the field on a 3-and-out. But what could have been a really exciting play to start the game is an okay play, and there's a bunch of that on tape. The first touchdown, we have a young man that should come off the edge because we got 2 off the edge. Both of them surf instead of pinching. Detail. Shouldn't be a touchdown. Should be a 4-yard loss, not a 20-yard gain. So we didn't detail those moments enough to be elite, to be top 5. Can we get there? We can. If we can shut some people down over the next 6 weeks, we can. The second touchdown, when we gave up our first touchdown pass, and it really bothered me, it was to Kingston because on Coach's show he was talking that noise about they were going to end it, and give him credit. And give Coach Sataki and BYU credit because they found a way to win a game that we talk about. The final 8 minutes of the Big 12 since 2017, that's where the game comes down to. They found a way. They found a way. And guess what? They have continuity in that program of 11 years. And they built that thing. They weren't great when he first got there. When Bronco Mendenhall left, they had a downfall through there, and then Kalani built that program up. And now that's their expectation. They found a way to win. We found a way to not win. We did it to ourselves. We had opportunities on 4th and 7. We don't get off the field. We have an opportunity on 3rd and 7. We don't get off the field. Okay, I thought the first overtime possession. I mean, after we give up those 2 touchdowns and Kingston hits us for a 75-yard touchdown, they go 6 drives. And they had gone 32 straight quarters of scoring a point. They don't score no points for 2 quarters. And from 5 minutes to go in the first quarter till 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they don't score a point and they get 127 yards. So we were playing really good defense at that point. We had given Coach B confidence in what we were doing and those game tactical decisions. And I jump all over the board. I have the idea when we go out there, they ain't moving the ball. And so when they return that punt, we didn't stop. We didn't keep them from getting in the end zone to put that thing into overtime. We didn't keep them from, they go 69 yards on 15 plays and kick a field goal. We had 2 third down opportunities to get off the field. The game was won on 3rd down. 8 of 16, we gave up too many. Now, I have a lot of respect for Bear Bachmeier. That dude is a tough sucker, and they've got no problem running him and concern about him getting hurt, which gives you a pretty big advantage as an offensive coordinator when you've got an 11-man run game when you can +1 with the quarterback run, and he's a tough guy like that. They had a couple runs early, and then they couldn't move the ball with him through those 6 drives. And then the last drive, I told the players, put it on me. We got to make plays. We got to do things to details when you're going against somebody that's really good like that. And I think BYU's O-line is really good. They've got some maturity to it. But once again, the way that Coach Sataki has built that program and the continuity made a big difference. Now, we didn't capitalize on opportunities to get off the field. And in the overtime, we do a great job on offense, get down there. They call the hold on tube, whatever, we could kick a field goal. Our idea is let's go be aggressive as hell. Let's see if we can knock them backwards and not give up a field goal. They're trying to score a touchdown to end the game, and they lose 2 yards on that drive. And they kick a long field goal that, if you watch that field goal, it was over the All-State hands on the screen from 44 yards. Well, that dude could have hit one from 65 yards. So he missed one earlier in the game, though, with a little bit of pressure and a little bit of water. So we were hoping we get him back, we get him on a hash. He might miss it. And then we go out there, and I was really hoping they were going to go for 2 at the end of the regulation to tie it and to go overtime. Because we had spent some significant time. Now, if you're detailed, they work on critical situations with the speed option stuff, which they got us on 1. We got them on 2. And then 2-point plays, because I figured the game was going to come down to that kind of opportunity if we didn't boat race them. And I thought there was opportunities during that game for the University area Wildcats to put that thing away, and we just didn't take advantage of it. When you're up 24-14 and we've got possessions and on both sides, that's how close this team is to being good. So all the let's burn the village down, like, understand we're building with continuity. We've been here for a year and a half. This is a good football team in Tucson. Are we great yet? We are not. Are we elite yet? We are not. Can we get there between now and the end of the season? We can if they keep attacking it. And I said this way back then too. You don't have to have the most talent. You have to have enough. And we have enough talent to be a good football team. We don't have enough talent to beat ourselves in critical moments. And so I'm still all in. I love the 5-2-0. Absolutely freaking think this place is fantastic. Okay? And the emotion and the passion from Saturday, I'm glad it hurt people, okay? It sucks that we lost. Freaking hate that. And like I said, I hate freaking losing. I mean, I'm walking out the field, my wife thinks I'm freaking crying. I'm just violently ill. Because you put all that in, and the fact that the city of Tucson felt the same way, and they're a little pissed off because we had a 10-point lead, guess what? That means people care. So we have to keep continuing to get them to care by playing good football and earn what we lost in that moment over the next 8 weeks back. So be mad at me. We had an opportunity with the top 15 defense in the country to stop them, and we didn't.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Justin and then Troy.
Dalton Johnson, we had a chance to talk to him a little bit ago. This is going to be a homecoming for him.
It is.
What do you make of just the progress that he's made this year, the leadership that he's shown, and what did you think about his first interception this year?
Well, one, he's from Katy, Texas, which is a football hotbed. And he's been here since he was recruited by the Sumlin staff before they got fired and still decided to be an Arizona Wildcat. And went through, before Sumlin got fired, and then went through with Coach Sumlin's staff and went through with Coach Fish, and now here with us. And from the time I've been here since last January to where Dalton is now, I don't know if the people want to remember about this one. And Coach Shear's board talked a whole bunch of noise about how I couldn't coach linebackers. Okay, I'm okay with that, because guess what? We had to move Dalton Johnson to linebacker last year, and Dalton Johnson and Tay Brown were the 2 most productive players on our football team last year on that side of the ball. Dalton Johnson gives us an opportunity, and I also I saw on Twitter, it might have been you, Michael. I'm not positive. We talked about, no, you tell me if I'm wrong. When you have a defense where your secondary has the majority of the tackles, it's not a good thing. Was that you? Yes. Okay. You're right and you're wrong. It depends on how you base the scheme, okay? What we do around here and how we plus one on the run, we use our middle safety to come down there and fit the run every single time. So Genesis Smith is essentially our middle linebacker. Brian Urlacher was our middle linebacker in New Mexico. He led the nation with 178 tackles, okay? So in this defense, you're going to have a safety. Now, I spent, from the time that Brent told me that I was going to be the coordinator here, we have 2 guys between Dalton and Jen who I felt could be middle linebacker types. And we've done some stuff schematically that they don't know which middle safety or which deep safety. It gives you almost have a cover 2 look. which middle safety is going to come down and be the middle linebacker between Dalton and Jen, and we can flip it by call, we can flip it by formation, we can flip it by coverage. And if you look at statistically, our 2 leading tacklers are our 2 middle linebackers, Dalton Johnson, Genesis Smith. Max Harris and Tay Brown are the next 2 who are the next closest to the ball. And then you've got Deshaun McKnight and Tia Savea who are right there behind them. So our scheme is designed for a guy, because we have a guy like Dalton Johnson who can play in the deep middle and play in the deep half, and Genesis Smith, who's probably the best post safety in the country. But they can come down and be a linebacker 7 yards and make the majority of the tackles, because the center cannot account for a guy that's 12 yards deep in the middle of the field in the run count. Impossible. And so the design of that and how we were able to do that, and I spent a ton of time between December and spring and trying to figure out how can we get those guys to where they have no idea who it is, because now it's really tricky. They're having to account for 2 different guys that might be the middle linebacker and where are they coming from. So Dalton Johnson is super special because he can be that piece. You can't do that with a ton of safeties. And it's really hard to find that piece in recruiting, because a safety that plays linebacker usually didn't play in the box. And come and ask those guys, ask the old lineman and ask Mally and ask Tia how loud it is down there when there's live bullets, when you've got 330-pound guys trying to cut your neck in half, okay? And so you got a safety that wants to fit down there in that box. It gets really, are they tough enough or are they not? And so Dalton is. Genesis is. Not all DBs are. And then when you're recruiting a DB in high school, a linebacker, most of them haven't backpedaled. Brian Urlacher was a receiver DB / linebacker. Brian couldn't cover for nothing. So we moved all those pieces around him and left him in the middle. That's really smart coaching, because he led the nation with 178 tackles. So how do you use those pieces, and are they special? Dalton Johnson, Katy, Texas, Houston, Texas, the football hotbed. Nobody talks about how the great football is in New Mexico. We'd crush Texas if we had a chance. Am I not wrong? Huh? Santa Fe, St. Michael's, are we not going to compete in Texas? Probably not. But the hotbed that we have right there, with what we're doing with Dalton and those guys, he's a special, special person. And seeing him get an interception and the fumble recoveries, and we're third in the nation right now in interceptions. We're 4th in the country in gain turnovers. I talked a bunch of noise back here in the spring, and y'all thought I was crazy, because we have enough talent. And those guys give the players all the credit, because they're the ones making the plays. I don't make a single play. Probably screw them up more than I help them. What else? That was only one question. We're on a roll now. What's the timer, Coach Shearer?
You talked about third down.
Sir.
About the down that caused the issues defensively, but it seemed like you executed well on first down, and then second down they had a lot of big runs right there, just with those third down situations. Do you think that was just schematically kind of like what Dalton was talking about, having to account for bear running there?
So they do, when they +1 you with the quarterback run, yes. 2nd 10 statistically, we actually did, like you said, we had success on first down. I think we lead the Big 12 in tackles for loss, and we're like 4th in the country in tackles for loss. I think we're in the top 25 in sacks, because we're getting good pressure on the quarterback with a 4-man rush too. On those 2nd and 10, a couple times early, they got me, because statistically they had been heavy pass, especially after an incomplete pass, they were heavy run. But after a run or a negative play, they would throw the ball on 2nd down. They got me early on a couple of run stunts that we did away from the quarterback run, and the guys got them on the ground. The third downs that we weren't great on, and we've been really good on 3rd and short all year long. 3rd and 1 to 3, I think the offense has a huge advantage. They whooped our tail on Saturday night. Saturday night. They were 4 or 5 on 3rd down from 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 to 2, really. 3rd and 3 to plus, they were 3 of 12. That's frustrating, because the championship down we won, they were 2 of 6 in the championship down. They were 1 of 6 on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 7 plus. But we usually break even or do better on the 3rd and 1. And because of the quarterback run, they got us twice. They did have to throw it twice on 3rd and 2. And then we caused a fumble on the chain debacle on the 4th quarter, which, if we get on that football, it's a beautiful punch out by Genesis Smith. And we have 2 corners that come together, and I don't know how we don't end up with the ball. That's the difference between winning and losing a game. And so the championship down, we won the championship down. We didn't win 3rd and short, and they ended up 8 of 16, which was probably the difference in them winning the game.
Michael and then Brian.
I don't really know why fans have kind of dismissed the loss of Trey Smith, who's obviously a very good player when healthy. I'm not sure he was healthy after his initial injury, but how are you kind of assessing how you're going about replacing him, and is Mays Pace playing a bigger role than you maybe envisioned?
If you saw Saturday, we were a little bit more three linebacker personnel, with Riley getting extensive reps and Chase Kennedy being fully healthy. We can smite that rotation between Tia, Deshaun, Leroy, Julian, Malachi, Mays, and then you work in Zach Cialep a little bit on the inside. I mean, on our goal line, we put 5 D linemen in there. They didn't move us an inch. Maybe we should have left them. Now they spread us out, so we couldn't have. But how are we going to use Mays and Dom and Mally? And then what can Tia and Deshaun give us? If Deshaun it was really disappointing. He's got an oblique, whatever, strain or whatever they call it in his mid. I mean, he practiced his tail off today, and nothing. That if you ever had an oblique injury, it's very painful. He finished the entire game. It was on his tackle for loss. We've got to be able, and Trey Smith is a vital part to what we do defensively because he's so physical. And on the statistics, it wasn't showing up for him having significant tackles for loss, sacks, and all that stuff. But the disruption he has, if we would have put him on the tight end to the tight side, it would have been a little bit harder for them to run, the quarterback runs, because he can eliminate 2 people because of his power. Here's what Trey Smith and the positive to, and I told him when we sat down and the young man was heartbroken and shattered and really wanted to play through his injury. God's plans are bigger than ours. And Trey Smith has not gone into a season in the last 2 years without something. He had surgery on his shoulder to fix his collarbone in the spring, and so, or really early summer. So he missed the majority of summer weightlifting, recovering from that. Last year he had a high ankle deal, and he had a foot deal, and he had a shoulder injury. So we were trying to get him from game to game every week with minimal practice, which hurt his development. And then he has such a physical presence that you try and get him to Saturday. Well, we decided to have the surgery right now. We can get Trey another year of eligibility through the paperwork because he didn't play in the majority of the games. He only played in 3 games. And if we can get Trey Smith healthy with a full year and a half of development under Coach Salavea, I'm super excited for what that can do for our front next year with him and Mays and Ezra and Leroy and Julian. I mean, we have some pieces with Zach and stuff, and then we'll go find some more in the recruiting that we have. I mean, the ones that we have, there's a couple of them committed right now that we think can possibly play as freshmen, which is really hard to do on the D-line. But, like I said, God's plans are greater than ours, so he has a plan for Trey Smith, and we're going to take advantage of what we can in that moment. But we're going to miss him.
Ryan and Jason?
First impressions on what you've seen from Houston, and do you think that based on where BYU did the quarterback run, that they might try to implement that more than they have?
They've used it quite a bit. And let's talk about Willie Fritz for a minute. What a phenomenal football coach Coach Fritz is. Phenomenal. The success he had at Sam Houston, the success he had at Tulane, what he's doing right now at Houston. And if you go back and look at his career path from year 1 to year 2, year 1 not always good, year 2 phenomenal. And they're on that path right now. They're 5-1. Connor Wigman was the number 1 recruit in the country quarterback in the country coming out in 21 when he went to Texas A&M. We played against him in 23 when I was at New Mexico. Dean Connors, number 44. I mean, they've done a great job, but they did a great job with the transfer portal. Everybody on their front 5 on the offensive line, except for Demetrius Hunter, the center. He's the anchor. He's been there since 22. Everybody else is brand new, whether they're transferred in, and they've done a good job of putting those pieces together. Okay, Amari Thomas has like a ton of records at UAB. They put him in the slot. They put him outside. I think he's really dangerous. The number 9 tight end, Koziel, that's the second leading receiver. He's got over 30 catches. So they're doing things schematically to get their ball players opportunities to make plays. I think Amari makes a ton of them. The running back, Connors does a great job of making you miss in space. He does a great job getting vertical, and I don't know if you guys watched the Oklahoma State game, but he made a catch. It was funny. We're showing it last night, and somebody yells out, "That has to be AI." That's how good of a catch it was. It was phenomenal. So they got some athletic ability, and what Coach Fritz has instilled in the belief in their program. And it's going to be a hell of a football game on Saturday morning. I mean, you got 2 good teams that believe they're good, So we're going to smash into each other, and it'll be a hell of a deal. They're good on defense. We're good on defense. We're good on offense. They're good on offense. So it's going to be a hell of a football game. So give Coach Fritz a lot of credit.
When you as a defense go on the road,
Mm-hmm.
what are the biggest challenges in terms of just overall operation and all that, beyond just
For us, 0. It is not loud when we're on the field. I mean, all the quarterback has to do is do this, and it shuts up. And I was disappointed with the BYU contingency on Saturday because I was hearing all week long it was going to be 40% stadium. They had a great contingency over in that corner, but it wasn't nearly as many as I thought it was going to be. When I played against Michigan State on the road a couple of years ago in 2018, they had about 30,000 people in the stands. I mean, that was a very interesting phenomenon for them to travel that well. And BYU does travel well, but I thought especially the ones that were, I mean, obviously Hurricane Priscilla screwed a lot of that up, and I'm going on a tangent, Coach Shear. I'll get back to your question. But the people that were in Arizona Stadium, like the Arizona Wildcat faithful that were there and then stuck it out and stayed through the rain delay, like they were awesome. They were outstanding. And when BYU started chanting BYU in the fourth quarter, and the U of A contingency was like, no, screw you, U of A. I mean, that was phenomenal. Like that's what college football is about. And so when we go on the road, when we were at Iowa State, it wasn't loud when we were on the field. The communication, we can communicate easier than when Seth and those guys are on the field. And when we have to practice crowd noise and all that stuff, it ain't for us. It's for when they're out there offensively. I'm looking for. I mean, I haven't been to the new stadium there in Houston. I mean, probably the perfect size for that school where they're at, which is awesome. And hopefully they have a good crowd because it makes it more fun for us. It does make it more fun for us. It's more challenging on the offense, but it makes it more fun for us when people are excited, when we have a crowd like we did on Friday night. And the rest of the Big 12, I mean, everybody has a great home field advantage. We want to go take that away if we can.
Last two will be Michael and Justin.
There's been a lot of coaching changes already this season, and you earlier referenced the importance of continuity and how BYU has kind of built things up. You also kind of talked about the burn the village mentality that a lot of fans take, and we understand like why they are how they are. But can you just speak a little bit more on the importance of establishing continuity, keeping a coaching staff intact for several years, and how that can benefit a program like Arizona in the long run?
I think it's well, here's how I'll start this, and I'm glad you asked that question. And I think Coach Shear's board and Twitter and a lot of people within the history of this football program. I mean, this is the 122nd team, and we're really proud to be the 122nd team of Arizona football. The statement, well, this is Arizona football. We screwed that thing off on Saturday. This is Arizona football. I want that to become a thing. I want this is Arizona football to become the statement because I believe in what we're building and what we're doing, and I want people to say, hell yeah, this is Arizona football. We won that game on Saturday night because it came down to a critical moment, and our kids responded. And they're going to respond this week. They've already responded, like Seth said, the Sunday night flush, like they were, like we have the 24-hour rule, and everybody's like really, and there's fake sad. There's like you see a guy that like is acting pissed off, like, oh, I'm cooler than everybody else because it hurt me more. There wasn't none of that. Like we had a devastated locker room, which is what you want. I mean, grown men that have tears in their eyes because they're so they put everything they have into it to lose. And to show up Sunday with the right attitude and the right demeanor says a lot about our football team. Now, if we go out there and lay an egg on Saturday, well, then shame on us, okay? I think we have good enough players that believe in what we're doing in all three phases that they're going to work their tails off and show up on Saturday, and Saturday's going to be just like this, and we got to find a critical moment to flip the game on Saturday morning. So the continuity that I talk about, and there's bad continuity too now. I mean, when you get as a head coach, oftentimes you can become entitled if you're winning too much, and people get tired of your tale. They don't want to hear the same thing. People will get tired of hearing me talk every week now. Everybody's excited about it right now because we create some fun and positivity. But if we suck, they'll get tired of listening to me, okay? If you're good, you probably have a 7 to 10-year run where people will enjoy you. And then after that point, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you better be winning championships or they're tired of your tale. And it's time for something else, okay? If you're winning championships and you're winning, now, in the history of Arizona football in the 122 years, we've won 10 games 4 times. Coach Tomey did it twice. That's pretty freaking phenomenal. Okay, well, let's change that. Let's find a way to win 10. Let's find a way to win 10. Let's find a way to win 8, 9, compete for a championship and get in that mold and build it. You can't do that in a year and a half. And then make a change and do it in another 2 years and then make a change and do it in another 2 years and make a change. Like, I'm not an administrator. I'm not smart enough to be an administrator. I didn't go down that path. But if you want to build something special, and I think we have an unbelievable one in Desiree who believes in the process of what we're building and the support that she's given Coach Brennan and believes in Coach Brennan and his vision, okay? We want the people of Tucson to care and buy into what Coach Brennan is building, because look at what we've turned around from there till 6 games into this season. We've got a good football team. That didn't happen by happenstance. It went by, there's got 10 coaches on this staff that recruit their tails off. We've got a recruiting department and guys going to Fletch, and all their 25 interns, that most of them are volunteers, that work their tail off in the freaking back alley looking for players every single day, okay? So that we can find the Deshaun McKnights, that we can find the guys that we brought FCS players in that people didn't think were going to be good enough and are playing at an elite level in the Big 12. The only way that happens is if you build a program. Kalani Sitake, Matt Campbell, the elite teams, Kyle Whittingham, the elite teams in our conference are building something. Lance Leopold's building something great in Kansas, and he's done it at several places. Coach B did it at San Jose State. You get better players, you're going to be a better coach. So we have to evaluate. But the continuity of building that is where you have a chance to compete for champions. You okay, Brett? Where you have a chance to compete for championship. I'll give you the Heimlich or whatever we need to do over there. I'll step in. I'm CPR certified. Okay? You build that by continuity. And so I think it's important. And that's how you become able to contend in the Big 12.
Max Harris, just what do you make of the impact that he's made in that linebacker room through the first 6 games?
From the spring, and I've said this a few times, like Max's journey through college football, starting at Incarnate Word, going to Louisiana Monroe, going to Texas State, coming here, is like my sad version of what's happening to college football. Okay, now I think Max Harris is like one of the coolest human beings, and his leadership skills have given him an ability to be a leader at all 4 of those spots, because they didn't want to lose him at Texas State. He wanted to perform on a big, what he perceived as a bigger stage. He fit in early in spring, and we had a deal where we were doing a team building competition with this group called The Program, which was awesome, by the way, where it's like a kind of a Navy SEAL training-ish type deal where you put them through, and they asked for somebody to step up to be a leader. Bam, that sucker ran out and was the first one to hop out in front of the football team, a new guy. And nobody batted an eye. Everybody was like, yeah, his voice through spring ball. And to be a leader, in the reality of it, to be a leader, you have to be a good player. Like, you can't be a leader and be a fake guy. Doesn't work. Like, people won't follow you. They'll see right through you. And in the game of football, if you have an elite ability to play and you're physical and you're a badass, like, they will follow. And there's positive and negative leaders now. There can be cancers in your locker room. So through the recruiting process, especially in the transfer portal, you have to do the best job you can in that speed dating term over 2 days to figure out, you better call people and find out if this is the kind of dude you want in your locker room, because if you make the wrong choice, like, it'll tear your locker room and gut you. And Max Harris is like the epitome of everything you want to find in the transfer portal. 1, he's a damn good player. 2, his leadership skills. He's the one that I talked to on the green dot on Saturday. And it's an interesting, I mean, I look like a freaking robot when I'm putting this whole suit on, because you got a walkie-talkie here, you got the mic com for the coaches, you got a button here. And so I push the button, and whether we want them to look back over for the sideline to get a new signal, or if I want to just tell Max, like, what to do, he can get it communicated to everybody, and they listen. And you can't do that with everybody. And you can screw some kids up by talking to them during a play like that deal, and then it cuts off at 15 seconds, and, like, you don't have to worry about that with him. So we've got a great leader between him and Tay Brown. And Tay Brown is like I love Tay Brown. He's like the guy that nobody wants on your team. He's not flashy. He's not sexy. But the dude has 14 tackles, and he's probably the toughest sucker on your football team. And he's got a beautiful girlfriend, and I tell him all the time, dude, like, take care of her. Like, because if you don't, somebody else will. And you know what? You want to marry that. And if you don't take care of her when you're not together, like when you get with her or whatever, or you call her on the phone and tell her how much you love her, because if you don't, somebody else is going to, and boom, she's gone. Like, that's everything in life. I tell all our guys that. Like, I try and make sure that Sandra knows that I think she's the greatest, most beautiful thing in the world, because I don't want somebody coming in there and trying to swipe her from me. And so Tay Brown and Max are like the anchor of what we have inside. They play almost every play. I mean, Tay's 14 tackles. He's trying to catch Jen and Dalt. Tell them it's probably a pipe dream because of the way we set those guys up for where they are, but they take challenge to it. So now through 6 games, we played good. We haven't played elite. We have enough talent to be elite. We have to be detailed in those moments to finish that. I said it in March. We want to be a top 15 defense in the country. We are right now. We got 6 games to prove it, to finish this thing off. And I challenged our defense the other day. Let's be top 10. Why stop there? Why not be top 5? Like, let's go out there. But to do that, you have to execute, be detailed, and dominant. And we're going against the top 25 defense, and I mean, they're averaging almost 400 yards a game on offense. Coming in, they rush it for over 160. They throw it for 2 something. I mean, it's a great challenge, and they're a really good football team that's really believes in what they're doing, and they're 5-1. So you got a 4-2 and a 5-1 team in the Big 12 at 11 o'clock Central Texas time on Saturday on what? Was Fox Sports 1? Like, hell yeah, let's go do this. Okay, 24 hours ended after we gutted ourselves against BYU. Okay, so be mad at me about not getting the defense out there and finishing that damn thing when we had a chance. And you know what? Let's move on together as a community, as a football program, and as a team, and let's go get the one in Houston and then fill this place back up when we come back here after the bye week. And we go get Colorado, and then we come back here. Like, buy into what we're building here. Buy into the Wildcat football community. Keep that statement. Whoever wrote that down, like, oh, crap, this is Arizona football. Hell yeah. Oh, crap, this is Arizona football. Like, let's build that. And if we recruit good enough players, let's build it. Let's have fun. But give Coach, give Kalani and their football team credit, because they found ways to win the game when it was on the line. We didn't. And so we got to learn from it, move forward. We've moved forward. We'll teach the details and demand them even better, and the players. But the best part is, regardless of what we do, because coaches don't play or players win games, okay, they'll demand the details from each other. And on a couple of the mistakes when they're coming off the field, this is how I know we have a chance to continue to be good, is those guys are talking out what the thing is. Like, they're telling those guys, hey, you were supposed to do this, get your ass there. Like, we got a chance. They're not fighting, they're holding each other accountable. And the accountability part of Red Line, like, hell yeah, let's go do this. So show back up, Tucson. Don't give in. Burn the village down for a day, put the fire out, and then come on, let's go. Let's keep this thing building. All right, bear down.
Thank you, everybody.